I'm sorry, but you could not get me in a sexy situation if I had a demon in my mind that was watching my every move. I don't think you all understand how the vibes of this book just had me in a chokehold. My favorite part of the book was when I was like, good riddance, bitch. Hello friends, welcome to night mode. It's so hard to set up lighting at nighttime. Why didn't anybody tell me that? Anyways, welcome back. Welcome if you're new. I got a new bookshelf. So yeah, I'm officially a booktuber now. So I guess that's just like the rite of passage on booktube, is to have a bookshelf in the background, because obviously you must prove that you own books and have read books. But whatever, got the damn bookshelf. We're going to be talking about One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. Don't know if that's how you say her name, but that's what we're going with. This is on Kindle Unlimited right now, so if you have that, you can read it on there. That's how I read most of my books, is on Kindle Unlimited, because I'm trying to get my money's worth. This is a book that is very hard to describe, but I'm going to try my best, okay? It is also a book that if you try to describe it, it sounds really stupid. So I don't know if that is a red flag for the book. There's a lot of things I'm iffy about on this book. Like, things that I liked, I loved. But things I did not like, I hated. Maybe you feel the same way. Maybe that's why you're here. If you didn't feel the same, I want to know. And also if you have some answers to my questions, because I have some questions about this book and I'm not willing to go back and search for the answers. So with that being said, let me attempt to describe the plot of this book. Okay, so there are two types of magic that exist in this kingdom. The first is like a wild type of magic. This magic is forbidden. It's treated like an illness. If you have it, usually like you catch it as a child, they will kill you. And you can catch the illness by staying in the mist for too long. What is the mist? Great question. It is essentially magical fog, okay? Because the forest is the spirit of the woods domain. The side effect of using this magic is degeneration. So the longer you use your magic, the more you will degenerate and then eventually die. The second is a type of magic given by Providence cards. The Shepherd King created the cards with the help of the Spirit of the Wood about 500 years ago as a way to stop degeneration from happening. He negotiated with the Spirit of the Wood to come up with a way that people could use magic without risking their lives for it. The side effects of this kind of magic depends on the card. So for example, with the scythe, you experience physical pain. Some of them are kind of dumb. To use the card, you have to tap it 3 times, and then to turn the card off, you tap it 3 times again. And then if somebody else taps the card, then your active session ends. After the cards were created, the Spirit of the Wood got pissed because people were worshiping the cards instead of the spirit. So to get some revenge, I guess, the Spirit of the Wood made the mist start spreading and taking over towns in the kingdom and infecting a bunch of people. So not good things. So anyways, our girl Elspeth, the main character, she was infected as a child. She escaped due to nepotism, partially. Her dad was the captain of the Destriers. So when Elspeth was infected, she touched this card, the Nightmare card, when she was little, and she sucked it in. She sucked up that card, and it put this demon in her brain, and now she's possessed. The Nightmare is always in her mind, and it talks to her throughout the novel, which is my favorite part of this book. So anyways, to cure this infection, I don't know. Honestly, y'all, I'm just as confused as you are. To cure this infection, they need to reunite all of the 12 cards. Great, simple enough, you might say. But, however, there is a card that no one has ever seen since the cards were created. So that makes it a little difficult. Our girl Elspeth and this unlikely ally join together on a quest to unite all the Providence cards. So their whole quest is to save the kingdom, cure the mist, bring together the Providence cards, save the day, all things I love. I love a good quest. This book has incredible vibes. it is some smoky, spooky ivy on the side of a castle, well, English countryside, but creepy and foggy, mysterious and haunting. Like, it just has a great vibe. It honestly had a lot of Fourth Wing energy to me, with like the whole like talking in the mines, like similar to the dragon. Is like she's got the demon. She has that book that her dad gave her as a kid. It's like a children's book, and it's like, you know, it's got that too. I like that. I hate when people like compare books to other books and then have no reason to back it up. But it did have Fourth Wing vibes to me. Sorry. It just did. Okay, let's discuss the writing in this book. This book has some of my favorite writing and then some of my least favorite writing. The writing for the atmosphere is really good. The way she describes the setting is very visual, and I feel like I can see it really well, which was like why I loved this book. Okay, so the nightmare speaks only in poems and like riddles, which is it's a little goofy at times. Like sometimes it's cool, but other times it's just like, again, we're still rolling with this. Like, it just feels so camp. This one specifically. This was only page 31, and I was like, okay, can we hold off on the riddles, please? He says, my magic moves, my magic bites. My magic soothes, my magic frights. You are young and not so bold. I am unflinching, 500 years old. It's like sometimes it's kind of cool, and other times it's just like, why? That is so goofy. What am I reading? Like a children's novel? It feels so like children's folklore-esque. I don't know if that's what she's going for, but it's strange. The dialogue never decides what it wants to be. So let me just read you this. He says, why were you on the forest road alone at nightfall 15 days past? Okay, so you know that kind of, we're having that kind of speaking, okay? 4 pages later, he says, fuck, that's twice you've handed me my ass and run off. Like, you can't go from why were you on the forest road alone at nightfall 15 days past to fuck, that's twice you've handed me my ass. And it does that throughout the whole book. Why? I don't like it. It is weird. Let's talk about the magic system next, okay? The magic system is pretty cool once you understand it, but then I don't know. It is kind of goofy too, because it's like, oh, tap that card 3 times and then you can use it. It doesn't feel goofy when you're reading it. One thing that confused me about the magic system was the spirit of the wood. She's like pissed that these cards exist, right? So then why'd she make them? This is like kind of an Oppenheimer type situation where it was like, why are you shocked that they used the bomb that they commissioned you to build?
Well, I'm here to tell you that I know J. Robert Oppenheimer, if he could do it all over, he'd do it all the same. You know, he's never once said that he regrets Hiroshima. He'd do it all over. Why? Because it made him the most important man who ever lived.
Make it make sense. The Spirit of Wood made the cards. Shepherd King uses them. People start using them, and people stop going to magic. And she's like, what the fuck? I'm gonna mist this kingdom up. Like, it's just kind of like, why? Why'd you make them then? And aren't you like God? So can't you just like turn the cards off? There's something kind of sus there with that. The Spirit of the Wood is kind of cool though. Like she's like mysterious. I guess she's like Mother Nature God type deal. If y'all have ever seen the movie Mother, this book kind of gives that. Like the whole commentary on Mother Nature and God, trying to say something that like the Shepherd King is like a embodiment of God or like Jesus. And then the Spirit of the Wood is like Mother Nature and like spirituality. I don't know if that's what it's trying to be, but that's like the general vibes it gave me. Okay, so obviously I like romance, all right? I hated it in this book. It felt very out of nowhere. It felt out of place. It didn't make sense for Elspeth's character really to me. She's always been very secretive. It doesn't make sense that like she would all of a sudden like open up to someone else and like trust them that much. I was really hoping that it was gonna be just more focused on her and the nightmare, because the nightmare gives her those like abilities and she can like kick some ass. So it makes sense in the aspect that they're together because they kind of have shared trauma, but that's kind of all they have. Like there's nothing inherently about the personalities that mesh together. Do they even have personalities? No, not really. Ew, I also hate that whenever the nightmare's in her mind and then they're like kissing and fucking and shit, they make it to where the nightmare's like sleeping during the like sexy scenes. I'm sorry, but you could not get me in a sexy situation if I had a demon in my mind that was watching my every move. No. Absolutely not. I would be like, bro, are you watching? And I don't like that it's like, oh, the nightmare's quiet whenever he's around. I'll take romance in like any book, but this one I was just like, don't give it to me. I don't want it. Honestly, what even is there to say about the characters? Elspeth has absolutely no personality whatsoever. I don't know anything about her. Really. The only interesting thing about her is that she's got the nightmare in her head. And so when the nightmare is gone, what will we be left with? I don't know. It's kind of like giving Venom and Eddie Brock vibes. It's like he wants to get rid of Venom, but like, does he really? Because Venom is like carrying the team in terms of personality. Who wants to watch a movie about Eddie Brock? Not me. Who wants to read a book about Elspeth? Not me. So I don't know. I hope that they don't get rid of him, but I feel like they will, and it'll be like, ooh, he's over. It's over. But don't like it really. There are 2 parts of this book that I'm just like, I just don't get it. And if you do, please let me know in the comments because I need some assistance. So the whole book, Elspeth is reciting the old book of the Alders, and she's never once considered that the nightmare may be the Shepherd King. She never thought, maybe I have the Shepherd King in my head. She read that damn line over and over and over again. It took her this long. She's never once considered that. She's never once been like, hey, nightmare, since you're in my brain all the time, let me just like run this theory by you. If it were me, I would be asking so many damn questions. She doesn't ask this man anything ever. And then when she does ask him, he's like, finally, bitch. I just find that a little not convincing. Like she's that dumb. She has no personality and no brain. She always talks about like her magic or whatever. Raven is like, here, use this mirror card so you go invisible. And she's like, no, I can't use that. If she knows that her power is that she takes whatever the Shepherd King bartered for the cards to be created, how does she not know that she has the Shepherd King's soul in her? Do you see what I'm saying? My favorite part of the book was when the nightmare took over Elspeth's body. I was like, good riddance, bitch. Generally, I just wish this book had a little bit more gore and violence. I know we get some of that near the end, but it really could have just like milked that. I don't know if this is YA. I'm like very confused about who this book is for. Even if it is YA, they could still up the gore a bit. Maybe not like Red, I don't know. Honestly, it could use some like Red Rising type gore. I think that would enhance it a little bit. And it needs more action throughout. It felt like a lot of waiting, and then the end payoff was like kind of mediocre. Oh my god, the tree names. The tree names are so bad. I don't like them. They're not subtle at all. Like, where's Oak, bruh? Where's Maple? They're coming. I know they're coming. Birch, where is he? I know he's gonna be here sometime. It didn't need to be there. It adds nothing to the story. Ooh, I wonder if Raven and Elspeth together are like the twin Alders or something. Like there's something there. Or like Raven and Elm are like the twin Alders or something. I'm feeling like the twin Alders is a person. Or 2 people and not actually a physical card. Like it is something different, or it's like a bloodline or something. I don't know. I could be totally wrong. And if it is just a card, I'm honestly going to be kind of disappointed because it feels like all this build up. And if they do just find it and they're like, here it is, it's going to be kind of like, no. Okay. Okay. Last but not least, why in the fuck did Hawthorne drink the truth serum with them? He just got embarrassed for no reason. Like, is that a part of the chalice card? Did I miss that? If you want other people to drink it, you drink it too? Like, why didn't he just make them all drink it and then he just sits back and asks the questions? Why did he drink it? Like, why does he need to prove to them that he has nothing to hide? It doesn't matter. He's got them. They need to prove to him that they are innocent. And then they proceed to ask the dumbest questions known to man. Questions that mean nothing He could have simply asked, hey, you planning a coup on the king? Hey, are you committing treason? Are you a highwayman? There's none of that. There's no straight up just like, I'm just gonna throw this out here. Y'all, I don't know. I went into this review video thinking that it was going to be like pretty 50-50 on like things I loved and things I hated. It sounds like I just didn't like a lot of this book and just really loved the vibes. I really liked the nightmare. I really liked the energy he brought. I loved the lore of the Shepherd King. I loved the one dark window. I loved the communicating with the Spirit of the Wood. I like can't wait to speak to the Spirit of the Wood. Can't wait for that to happen. Can't wait for more lore to be unveiled to us in the next book. I just am really into the lore, the vibes, and the magic system. Do I think the Providence cards are kind of goofy? Absolutely 100% yes. Do I still enjoy them? Yes. It's just kind of fun. I've always just like in elementary school, middle school, I always just loved like the idea of like having powers, but not like all encompassing power, like a specific kind of power. So that's why I think I like the Providence cards. Like I like the thought of being able to do like one thing. It feels more realistic to me, maybe as realistic as magic can get.